Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules and I am back with another weekly reading vlog. This is week 4 of Old School April. This will probably be my last weekly reading vlog for the month. I will probably extend this one and make it a week and a half. So this week I would like to try and read some more old school stuff. Last week I didn't. I picked up a couple books that weren't on my list. And I'm currently in the middle of one of them. I am listening to Made for You, and I'm 40% into this one. So last week's vlog, I mentioned a little bit of starting it. So we are following a synthetic woman who has been created to appeal to a guy who is on a Bachelor reality show. So it's set in 2 different timelines. Based on the synopsis of the book, it does tell you that in the now chapters, she is obviously with the guy from the Bachelor and he is missing. So he has gone on a camping trip and he is missing. And then there are the then chapters, and they are following along the whole process of her being on the show, on the reality show. This is a sci-fi thriller, but it is very low sci-fi. It very much just reads like a thriller, which is why I like it and why I picked it up, is because a couple of friends have read it and said they liked it. This is Elise's book club pick for her book club. It is the Libronauts. It's a sci-fi book club. So I don't read much sci-fi. So this is the first book I've been reading for her book club. So I'm excited to discuss it with everybody. So I have that I'm reading. I'm also going to be listening to Firefly Lane this week, but I do want to go ahead and pick up another point horror. So I still have these numbered from the last time. So I'm just going to shake up my cup that has the numbers in them, and we're going to see which one I'm going to read this week. Let's see. I picked number 3, and that one is Prom Dress. This one says, Robin is too poor to buy a new dress for the prom. Then she finds a perfect, beautiful dress in the attic of her mysterious employer's house. She borrows it to wear to the prom and dances into her worst nightmare. Then Felicia finds the dress. The price she pays for wearing it is more than any girl should pay. But Nicole is too smart to be caught by the dress, isn't she? Poor Nicole. And then there's Gabrielle, Robin's little sister. Did she find the dress, or did the dress find Gabrielle? Can anyone stop the fatal attraction of the prom dress? That sounds interesting. So yeah, this one's a pretty quick one. This is only 165 pages. This is going to be my eyeball read for the next however many days, but I am also going to read some in this. Haven't read any of this yet, so I do want to read at least a few of these stories. So I think tonight Jess has reading sprint, so I think I'm gonna read in this tonight. I think that's what I'm feeling. I'm just mood reading, and this is what I kind of feel like I want to read tonight. So yeah, I will be back when I have some thoughts on what I've been reading. Hello friends, I'm finally here with some updates. It is now Thursday and I have not had any updates. Y'all, I have not felt like reading this week. I don't know if I'm just feeling a burnout from all the vlogging, or just not feeling reading, or if I'm in a book hangover from Say You'll Remember Me. Like I'm trying to get back in the groove. So the books that I was continuing on audio, I haven't eyeball read. Let me say that. The only thing that I have managed to eyeball read this week was one story out of this. And I didn't even really like it. And I actually can't even remember what it was about. So I've only read one, and I just was not feeling eyeball reading the last few days. That was Monday night, and I was so tired. I read one story, I tried to read another, and I just kept falling asleep. So I did pick up Prom Dress finally last night, and I got to page 68. So it starts off, Robin is kind of helping out this older lady that lives across the street from her, and she's a dancer. She's dating the popular football guy, and they're going to prom. She's finding the like perfect dress, but she's also doing this dance competition and asks the lady if she happens to know anybody that has like a 50s dress. And she's like, oh yeah, I do. She's like, I have a couple and you can borrow it. She's like, you can go up and look at the dresses, but there's a dress up there that you can't have, which is this dress. Basically tells her that that's the dress that she wore for her prom the night she had an accident, and she has like something wrong with her face, like something happened to her face. So then she really wants this dress. This dress is like calling to her, and she ends up stealing the dress so that she can wear it to prom. She tells her mom that she let her borrow it because she let her borrow the other dresses. So like, why would she question it, right? Anyway, she ends up stealing the dress, wears it to prom. Something bad happens. She ends up in the hospital. The dress, and she's all worried about the dress. She's like, don't cut it, because they're talking about cutting it. She's like, no. And so the dress is in the closet. The next person down the line, Felicia, is the nurse. She sees the dress. The dress is just very alluring, and they want to wear it. It makes them want to wear it. So something's going on with the dress. It's got the bad juju. But yeah, so then Felicia's husband is like, has some big important job dinner thing that they're going to be going to. And she's like, oh, this dress would be perfect for that. And she ends up stealing it from Robin, who's basically hopped up on pain pills in the hospital. And that's where I'm at now. Felicia's in this dress, and then she's about to go to this dinner. Something bad is gonna happen. So, and then it looks like it's gonna find its way back to Robin's little sister, Gabby. But yeah, so we shall see. It's pretty good. It's fun. I have still been listening to Firefly Lane. I didn't listen to it yesterday, so now I need to really probably listen to like 100 pages today, so that I can get it done by Sunday. I did finish Made for You, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving that one 4 stars. It's definitely more thriller than sci-fi, so I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I definitely am open to reading more sci-fi thrillers, as long as they're not heavy on the sci-fi. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That's my updates. I still have a little bit before I gotta start work, so I am going to read some more in this, and I will be back later with more thoughts. Hello friends, car update. So I'm almost done with prom dress. I'm gonna finish that tonight, so hopefully I can come back later with my final updates on it. I'm enjoying it. The dress is making its rounds and doing people dirty. So Robin was in the hospital, then Felicia is her nurse. Felicia stole the dress to go to her husband's thing. She's at her husband's dinner thing. The dress is literally like squeezing the life out of her. Like she says it feels like it's just like suffocating her, and like keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. But when she looks in the mirror, it looks normal, because she's like, it has to be busting at the seams because it's so tight. So she excused herself, pretended she was like feeling sick or whatever. And the host, the woman of the house, let her go and use, one of the rooms and bathroom and everything. And so while she's in there, she like takes her dress off and steals some clothes of the ladies, finds a bag in the closet, like a garment bag, I think is kind of what I feel like it is, and puts it in it. And she's trying to figure out how to get out of the house. She's literally like gonna run away. So she creeps back downstairs and is just gonna take off and leave everybody and not tell them where she's going. And as she's getting ready to leave, she had like put on different clothes, like a coat and a hat or whatever. And the woman of the house saw somebody leaving the house, and she like started yelling. She's like, intruder or whatever. And so then like people start chasing her, not knowing it's her. And she like hops on a city bus with this bag, and then finds out that the bag has jewelry in it. So not only did she like flee the house, she stole her jewelry. So she's on this bus, and then she realizes that her husband had jumped in his car and followed, him and another guy from the party followed the intruder and saw him get on the bus. So they flagged the bus down, waved it down, and get on the bus. And he ain't there, obviously, because it's her. When she realized it, she like took off the hat and like threw it out. So her husband's like, what is going on? So she makes up this cockamamie story that the intruder was robbing them and then saw her and wanted her dress, and so made her put the dress in the bag and like go with him. But anyway, she had shoved the bag under like the seats so that they didn't see that it was with her, and said that the intruder got off or whatever. So she's done with the dress. She done lost the dress now. So she can't return it to Robin. So then we're moving on to the next girl who finds the dress, and it's a girl gets on the bus. They're going to like some I think it's like a debate thing or whatever, and they're having like this big fancy dinner, and of course she doesn't have a nice dress because she's poor. She just has this like average dress, and so of course she has to have this dress, and it was meant to be that she found it on the bus, so she's got the dress on now. So it's making its rounds. Anyway, I am going through the drive-thru right now to get Culver's for dinner, and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna finish this book. I just got done visiting with my mom. She's doing pretty good. She actually was up and walking around. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, it is good, but I always also worry about her walking around because I don't want her to fall and get hurt, you know, because she's not really stable, but she was up walking. So she said a lot of I love yous. Julie's and I love yous is what she repeated tonight. That is my updates right now. So I will check in later. Hello, I'm back. I finished prom dress, and yeah, these girls were obsessed with this dress. It was making them do some crazy stuff. Each girl kept stealing it, and it kept going. Anyway, bad things happened to Nicole. Nicole ends up back at the hospital. So she comes in with this dress. So then Felicia, the one who stole it from Robin at the hospital, has now realizing that something's up with the dress, and so is Robin. And so Felicia ends up confessing to Robin that she took the dress and lost the dress, and then somebody else got the dress, and now they're like, you have to do away with the dress. And she's like, no, I can't. And it's like, my sister has to take it home and just put it in the closet until I can get it back to Miss Catherine. And then there was a little twisty twist at the end that had to do with Catherine's sister. And yeah, anyway, it was a pretty good time. I had a good time with this one. So I'm going to settle on 4 stars for this. And then I'm home now by myself. My daughter left and my husband went to a motorcycle like meetup thing. So he is gone. So yeah, I am just sitting here playing on my Switch, my little screen case. I love it. I am going to play some Pac-Man World. I found a new snack that I love. Y'all, I about ate this whole bag in like 2 or 3 days. These are so good. Sweet Tart Gummy Halos. They are blue punch, strawberries, and cream. And they're like they look like peach rings, but they're, and then the cream on the back. Oh, y'all, they're so good. Highly recommend. I have been listening to Firefly Lane. I'm down to almost like 100 pages left. So, and I am enjoying it more. It definitely has some up and down parts. It's definitely a family drama. And navigating, you know, relationships and family stuff. But yeah, it's not like gonna be a favorite Kristen Hanna, because, well, I've only read one Kristen Hanna and I loved it. That was The Women. Fantastic read. Loved it. 5-starred it. But I do want to read some more of hers. So I'm going to continue listening to that while I play my Switch. And I will check back with you guys later. Okay, I'm coming in with a quick update. I'm about to go have lunch with my coworkers. We had to do a supply pickup, so we're just gonna have lunch while we're there. But I finished Firefly Lane, and it was heartbreaking. Like, crushed my soul. Yeah, overall, I feel like the majority of the book was reading like, you know, a 3-star. There was just like, it was just so much up and down. Like, there was interesting parts, there was just some kind of like mundane little parts, but like overall I understand like kind of why we had to go through all that, just so you understand those family dynamics and the connections between everybody, you know, to get to the end. Like, I don't feel like the end would have been as impactful if we didn't spend so much time with those characters. So I do love all the characters in the book. I love their relationships, and everything they went through. So I think I'm gonna settle on 3.5 stars. I rounded it up to 4 on Goodreads. Anyway, I was bawling, so I had to go throw my makeup on really quick before I leave, but I'm about to head out. But I did want to pick up a Goosebumps book, so I looked to see which ones I have on audio and physical. So I am going to be reading The Ghost Next Door. It says, Hannah's neighbor has gotten a little weird ever since that new boy moved in next door. But when did he move in? Wasn't the house empty when Hannah went to sleep the night before? Why does it still look so deserted? Hannah can't get any answers from her new neighbor. He just keeps disappearing in the oddest ways, and he's so pale. Is Hannah being haunted by the ghost next door? I'm going to listen to this on my drive over, but I will be back later with some updates on this. Hello, friends. Happy Monday. I did not come in with any updates yesterday. My apologies. I am extending this vlog through Wednesday since there's only 3 days left of this week, and we're just doing a week and a half on this vlog. So I did end up finishing The Ghost Next Door, and I really had a good time with this one. So I can't really say anything about this without giving much away, but just know that Hannah, you know, thought her neighbor was a ghost, and so she's kind of following him around the neighborhood, and like, he is acting strange, so he's hanging out with these other few boys, and they're just getting up to mischief and doing things that they shouldn't do and getting in trouble. So she's following him around and kind of telling him to like, don't do that, you're gonna get in trouble. And you know, and they have conversations about like, why haven't I seen you at school before if you've been here that long? Because she asked, she's like, when did you move in? He's like, I've been here. And he's like, when did you move in? She's like, I've been here. So they're like, why haven't I seen you at school? And he's like, why haven't I seen you at school? So they both are just kind of confused about like their interactions. And then Hannah's hearing this like voice. She's like seeing this kind of like shadow demon-y thing, and it's like calling her and telling her to stay away from him. And it's actually really creepy. The audio, I was like, that's creepy. So I guessed the way that this book was going like pretty early on, but I still had a really good time with it. So obviously that I can't tell you anything else, but I did give this one 4 stars. And then, so last Friday, I actually started watching Cameron Chaney's video. He has like a compilation of Fear Street vlogs that he's done at different times, and he put them all together into one big vlog, and he just posted it like a week ago. So he has, so I'm currently watching him. It's like a 3.5 hour video. So I've just been watching. I watched some on Friday. I'm watching some today. So I'm planning on watching this like the next few days and hopefully get it done, you know, by the end of the week so I can update. But I am loving it. He has literally kind of put them in chronological order, like he's reading them. He read them from like the very first book on, and so it made me want to pick up a Fear Street book. I don't have any of the, I have some of the Fear Street Super Chillers. So these 3 are the Fear Street Super Thrillers, and it has 2 books per book. So this one has Party Games, Don't Stay Up Late, and this one has The Dead Boyfriend and Give Me a KILL. This one has The Lost Girl and Can You Keep a Secret. I have read all 4 of these. I have not read The Lost Girl and Can You Keep a Secret. So Libby had the audio for these, and I read these like in 2023, but I haven't read these yet. So I did find on Everand, I believe, The Lost Girl. I cannot find an audio for Can You Keep a Secret. So I'm going to listen to the first one at least, because then I would have to eyeball read the other one. And then I have the bind up of Fear Street, the beginning, and this goes back to the first 4 books. So the first 4 books of the Fear Street series. So he started on his videos, he started with The New Girl. So this book has The New Girl, The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and Missings. There are so many different Fear Street spin-offs, I guess, if you will. So I went on to fantasticfiction.com. If nobody uses that, you should. If you are ever looking for like a series and you want to know the exact order of things or the dates that they were, you know, released, fantasticfiction.com is the place to go. And you can enter the author's name and it will show you every book they've ever read and when it was published and if it's a novel or if it's part of a series, you know, whatever. So we have the original Fear Streets. The first one, which is, like I said, was the first 4 in this one. Those were started in 1989. And there is 53 books in that. Maybe 50. Why aren't those numbered? I don't know. 1998. So it goes, there might be 55 of them, but it goes, the last one of those was in 1998. So 1989 to 1998. And then there is the Fear Street Super Chillers. And there's 13 of those. I had actually done a haul. One of my vlogs, I think either last month or the month before, I went to the crazy bookstore and I found like, I think 5. I think I picked up like 5 of them. And then they have Fear Street Cheerleaders, which is, there's only 3 in that. And it's the first evil, the second evil, the third evil. So those are were done in 1992. Then we have the Fear Street Saga. There's only 3 of those. There's the Betrayal, the Secret, and the Burning. And then there's Ghosts of Fear Street. I only have a couple of those, but there's a lot of those too. There's like, those started in 1995 and went all the way through 1998, and there's 36 of those. And then there's 99 Fear Street, which there's only 3 of those, which is the first horror, the second horror, the third horror. Those are what those are called. I've never heard of those. It says Fear Street Cataluna Chronicles. There's only 3 of those done in 1995. There's Fear Street Seniors. I've never even seen those anywhere. So there's 12 in that. There's more of the Fear Street sagas that he did in started in 1996 and went all the way through 1999. There's 17 of those. There's Fear Street Fear Park. There's 3 of those. There's Fear Street Fear Hall. There's only 2 of those. New Fear Street, there's only 4 of those. Fear Street Nights, there's only 3 of those. Those were done in 2005. Fear Street Relaunch, which is these 6 books. These are just the bind up where they're all together, but they do have them individually, each book individually. So there's 6 of them, so I have these 6. And then there's Return to Fear Street. There's only 3 of those in 2018, 2019. And yeah, that's it. It's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. It's a lot of Fear Street books. I don't know how available like all the Fear Street books are. Like I did, like I said, I picked up some Fear Street Super Chillers at the used bookstore that I went to. But like some of the, and they did have some other Fear Street ones. They had some of the Fear Street Saga, but they were just not in good condition. Like they were kind of ripped up and stuff. And I mean, I like old worn books, like even this one, you know, there's a little wear there and the edges and stuff, but I don't want like ripped up books. So yeah, I don't know if I can find some of them relatively, you know, cheap or available. If I can't find that many available, then I may not collect them, but I might add the Fear Street books to my collection. I mean, I already have some of them. Not the regular Fear Street. I just have the Point Horrors and Fear Street Super Chillers, but because I had never seen the Super Chillers before. But that being said, he is making me want to read a Fear Street book. So that is what I am going to read. Also, I just got to the part in his video where he was working on a spreadsheet. And I literally today was like, I need to make a spreadsheet. I was like, I need to make a spreadsheet. So here we are going to read for the next 3 days. I'm just going to read Fear Street. So I did already start The New Girl. And I feel like I've actually read it before, but I don't remember when. But the good thing about Point Horror and Fear Street books and Goosebumps books and whatever, like, it doesn't matter if you've read them before because they're still just a good time, you know? And even if you like vaguely remember something, like you may not remember it detail, word for word. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but I'll be forgetting stuff that I read pretty quick. Pretty quick. So anyway, so that's my plan. So I'll come back when I have some thoughts. Like I said, I'll be eyeball reading this one and then listening to this one. But I don't know if I'm going to overlap them or not, because that could get confusing. Because literally the Lost Girl and the New Girl, I might get the girls confused. I don't know. But I'll be back when I have some thoughts.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited for Halloween.
Hello friends, I am here to do my final reading updates and close out this last Old School April reading vlog. I have had such a fun month vlogging and reading all the old school things plus regular things I was reading. So I have to say, I think since starting my channel, this is the first time I have ever weekly vlogged an entire month. I don't think that's happened before in the year that I've been on BookTube. So I had fun with it. It's a lot of work. I don't know how creators consistently do that every single week on their channel. Like it's a lot, y'all. So if you do that, props to you. You are the real MVP, because I couldn't do it all the time. I am going to try to continue vlogging weekly in May. We'll see how I do. I'm doing 2 readathons in May. One of them I'm co-hosting, which is Mystery and Mayhem, and then the other one I'm just participating in, which is Escape the Readathon. I have a whole big pile of books that are possibilities, and I'm just gonna read whatever, whenever, I don't know. But I will say, almost all my books I've picked are thrillers. So it's gonna be a thriller month, reading a lot of thrillers in May, which I love. That's one of my favorite genres. So, okay, updates for here. So I had mentioned that I was going to try and read The New Girl, which is the first book in the Fear Street series. I only read like a few pages. And then once I went to Goodreads to log that I was reading it, I noticed that I've already read this entire book in 2022. But as I had mentioned, it sounded familiar, but I didn't remember everything. So I feel like Fear Street books and even Goosebumps books, those kind of books, are things that you can read over and over like years later, because they're still just nostalgic and fun. And so I do still want to read it again. I just don't know when. But I also kind of like the thought of having the individual books. So I don't know, like I had said, I have some Fear Street Super Chillers. So I think I might start with those to complete getting the rest of those in the series, since I have almost half of them already. And then we'll go from there on trying to like search out the regular Fear Street books. I don't know, y'all. But I read The Lost Girl and it was a good time. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Like, it had 5-star potential. It was a good time. So it was a little confusing at first. I didn't really it took it a minute to connect them. So you have 2 different timelines. So you've got 1950 and then you've got 70 years later. And it starts with the story in 1950 of, a girl and her family is opening a ranch. And the dad was apparently like a ranch hand at this other guy's, ranch, but he decided he wanted to have his own ranch, and that made the other guy mad because he didn't want him to take away from his business, and then basically threatened him. It was like, your ranch isn't even gonna last. It'll be gone in a year. So basically threatened that he was not gonna allow his company to, do good. And then he gets killed, and the daughter witnesses it. And then she's running through the woods and gets chased, and then it jumps to the future. So that part was a little confusing. And then of course the Lost Girl, it's just a new girl she's really the new girl Lost Girl. A new girl appears at school, and then she, makes friends with the popular boy, and he's intrigued by her. but in helping her find her way around at school. And she's always joking. She's like, I'm so lost. And then shows up at his house randomly. And she's like, I'm lost. I thought I was on this street and I'm trying to get to this street. So in the future, the guy's dad owns a snowmobile company. And so all his friends, they're gonna have this big party and they're gonna get together, and his friends are gonna go out on these snowmobiles for like a day of playing or whatever. And then like an accident happens. Like somebody randomly comes out, an accident happens. I don't want to give too much away, but they think that he killed someone in this accident. So then they like take off. They're like gonna pretend it didn't happen. Then one of them has a change of heart and they're like, we got to go back. And so they go back and the body's not there. And then they start getting threats. Weird stuff starts happening. And then things do start connecting from the past timeline to the current timeline. And it does go back. It only goes back a couple times to the 1950. It's mostly current time POVs. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the way it all connected and the craziness of everything that was happening. It was a good time. So yeah, settled on 4 stars for that. So this was my official last read of Old School April. I finished it yesterday. Today is the last day of the month. I could probably try and pick up something quick, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to be done with my reading. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog. I do need to go now and figure up all my points so that I can submit all my Old School April points. And then that will wrap up another year of Old School April. I had such a fun time. I didn't chat in the Discord as much as I wanted to, but like work was always busy. And then when I wasn't working, I was reading or editing or, doing whatever. But yeah, it was overall such a fun time. I love Old School April. I'm going to plan on doing it. When April comes around, if Old School April is still happening, I will always be participating. It is such a fun month. The nostalgia that comes with it just makes my heart so happy. I hope you guys have had a great reading month. I hope you guys have enjoyed all of the vlogs that I've been putting out this month. And until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind.